Hey friends, welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge. Yeah, had to go to the city yesterday, got myself a new sweater. Hope it looks okay. Anyhow, I've already recorded the unboxing part. This is just the introduction. We're going to get something from Lansky. We're going to get something from Bria. We're going to get something from CJRB and something from Harns today. So if you want to see some of these knives, they are 3 fixed blades and 1 tool from Lansky. Then why don't you come around to the tabletop? We're going to take a good look at it. If you want to support the channel, because I bought all these things. I didn't get them for free. I did get a small discount, you know, from the same place that you can get a discount. You can save 10% at White Mountain Knives with coupon code CCE when you check out. I save around 30% when I shop at White Mountain Knives. That's all that I get from them. I don't get anything if you use this coupon code. No commission comes to me. So I'm not trying to sell these knives to you. I'm just telling you where they are available and where there's a good price that you can get them. And you decide if you want to get them or not. Do you want to find out what these are like? I'll give you an introduction to them. Don't consider this a review. Don't consider this an endorsement or anything like that. Don't consider this as, you know, pushing these knives. I'm just exposing them at this point, so let's take a look. I believe these are all fixed blades. It does say fixed blade knife here. I've got my Mork-Neve. This is the Companion Spark, and I've still not reviewed this yet, although there was a sibling for this that was made for Canadian Tire stores in Canada called the Mork-Neve Light My Fire, made by the Light My Fire people. And very similar, slightly different blade because they had that back bevel or the thinner bevel near the tip. But this is basically the Companion, you know, with that extra feature on there. So I know you really use a Scandi grind knife to do unboxings, but hey, since it's a fixed blade unboxing, let's use a fixed blade to do the unboxing. And CJRB. And this is my first from these guys, Bria knives. This is from Finland. Not had anything from them before. And this is a Harns knife. And one thing that's not a fixed blade that I've been wanting to do is this. The Lansky D-Sharp. I had one of my viewers ask me about this. I've reviewed the 3 other Lansky tools that are in this basic format. These are your portable pocket sharpening systems. This one's got diamond rods. Most of them, you know, they've either got those carbide, you know, shred your knife things, or they've got ceramic rods. This is diamond. So yeah, I want to take a look at this guy. Let's just start with that first. Let's move this stuff to the side. And let's use the Mora to open this package without hurting ourselves. Cutting towards our chum, you know, the guy sitting over there. And let's take it out. We've got the ceramic rod back here. It's got a point to it, so you can use that for, you know, certain things, like for serrations or whatever. And then we've got the diamond. We've got 17 degrees, 20 degrees, 25 degrees, and 30 degrees. Now, I find that pretty odd. I don't think Lansky is staying in tune with modern metallurgy. Now, modern metallurgy, I don't know of a knife that I do at 30 degrees, but a hatchet, I would maybe do a hatchet. Probably not an axe, but I might do a hatchet at 30 degrees. Do I have a knife handy that I can use? Yeah. These guys, I've had these for a while. I'm planning on doing a video about the Opinels. I reviewed one of them years ago, so I want to do a review. I just want to see what it feels like, what that diamond feels like. Just lightly passing it across there. That diamond is actually very grabby. That's pretty grabby diamond. Like it's just hanging on. Like it's not a smooth feeling. Now it could be just when these are brand new that it's really grabbing on like that. certainly is biting into that stuff. And it feels like it's changed the edge already. You know, I wonder about it. So I will do a full review about the D-Sharp ceramic bench stone and diamond angle stones. So put that right over there. And let's get rid of this open-L. Harns. Let's look at the Harns first. And back to this because it's all wrapped up. Now this package did not get inspected by CBSA, which makes sense since it said fixed blade on it, because there are fixed blades on there. Now I've reviewed a lot of Harns knives, most of them. This is the Defender, HK 4019 BK-S, D2 steel. They say the Rockwell's between 59 and 61, so let's just say 60. And we've got a Kydex sheath. So the sheath is on top. There we go. Kydex sheath with sort of a Tech-Lock-ish belt loop system, which I really don't like. I just don't like these. It makes the knife sit way too high on the hip. So I usually swap those out. If I do use these, I use them scout carry. But even that, I don't do an awful lot. I like they laser burned the name Harns in there, so it's not too dark, not too in your face, but the badging's there. Be proud of your brand name. Yeah. And the knife. Move this box over here. There we go. And the knife. Yes, the knife. Let's cut through the tape without. I'm trying to be delicate because I don't want to cut on the knife at all. That's still ahead. Oops, that's scary, Jake. That's so scary. Yeah, there's lots of things you do. We're going to do safely. And put the rest here. Paper, and we've got tape over this, or plastic sort of shrunk wrap. There is a safety tip in the package. I like to keep those for when I need to ship a knife back to somebody. So yeah, you've seen those before. If you buy knives, especially fixed blades, you often get these. Don't just lose them, keep them, because you never know if you're going to send the knife to somebody. And it's much easier to package it when it's got that in there, or at least package it safely. So we've got a Bowie style knife. This is a fairly heavy knife. We've got a full tang all the way around. This is thick. Like, that's, what, 0.15 of an inch? 150 thousandths, I should say, something like that. Of course, I'll measure it and tell you in the full video. Permanently pinned handle scales, G10. Lanyard hole at the back. Very good hand feel. I'm liking that. And like I said, D2 steel, the Defender. We've got a bit of a swedge there. It's a little too heavy for me. Of course, I looked at the numbers on the website when I ordered it, and I thought, maybe it's not going to be too bad. I'll do my testing and everything, and we'll find out. Yeah, D2 steel, which I quite like on fixed blades like this. And let's see what the retention's like. Oh, that's nice. That's some good retention. Let's put these things back, make it look pretty again. It holds on there very well. It's angled there, but it's angled just right. Look at that. To push off. Yeah, I like that. This is one heavy knife. I like that. The badging, yeah, it's a little big, but it's on the flats. I much prefer it on the flats than on the main bevel. So there's nothing on the main bevel. Defender D2 Harns. The feel of this handle, look at that. Big swell in the middle. Big swell there. Lanyard tube back here. That's quite nice. That's quite nice indeed. It's got a little bit of the 119, the Buck 119. It's got a little bit of that feel, a little bit of that shape, but it's heavier, and it's D2 instead of 420 HC. Of course, you can find the 119s in of several different steels now, but not at this price point. Nope, not at this price point. So yeah, let's put that guy across there. I'm gonna do the Bria last because I've not had any Bria knives before, so I'm gonna make you wait for that. This next knife is the CJRB, and does it say on the side what the model is? Oh yeah, right there, J1922. The J1922. Instagram CJRB Cutlery. Website artisancutlery.net. And I like this. Yes, it can rotate. You can loosen that up and rotate this. And the belt loop, it's got a full loop around and it comes back. So when it's sitting on a belt, it's not coming loose. I like that. But you can flex it off if you want to. Or you can just pull that off. So I'm liking this so far. And here's the screws, the hardware for that. This is pretty light. This is pretty light indeed. And I'm starting to lose sensation in my fingertips. So I have a tough time, even though it's a simple little bag here. And I should be able to open it up easily. Some of the health issues that you get sometimes when you're growing old. Your hands just don't want to do what you want you to do. You know, imagine people that have, medical conditions that make it even harder. But mine's just, well, I might have a medical condition, but mine's just sort of, I'm just losing tip of my finger dexterity. Just the tips. Just the tip, mind you. So we've got a neck knife lanyard kind of thing. Not paracord. I wish companies would start using paracord in China, but cordage. And look at that. Look at that. A little bit of Kydex dust in there. We got this fuller. We got this drop point blade. Very, very slight. Is that a recurve? It's a very, very slight recurve if it is. No, not really. It's not really a recurve. Well, this paper's not totally straight either. Here we go. Let's use the side of this blade to see. Yeah, it's almost invisible, but there's the tiniest, tiniest bit of recurve on this thing. Certainly nothing to be concerned about when you're going to sharpen this knife. It'll sharpen up just fine to the end. And there's no guard on it, so your grip, your hand might slide over if you're not really careful and holding on tight. Quite thin. Probably 0.4 of an inch, maybe a little bit less even. A little bit more right at the screws. A little bit of jimping. That fuller looks odd when it comes out the end. But there you go. High grind. Not super high. So it's more like a saber grind. Tiny lanyard hole back here. And, whoa, hit my head. Is that a hex? Why would they have a hex hole there? Let me see. Not for a standard bit. Why is there a hex hole back there? Is there something I don't know? No. I was just looking at these screws wondering if they might be that hex shape, for, working on your sheath. I don't know. Don't know why they've got a hex hole there. And where did I put the sheath? Oh, right up here. Drainage hole, taco style sheath. Let's see the retention here. Little bit of movement in there, not a lot. Most of that sound was this cordage. Yeah, that's all cordage. It doesn't have movement. No, it doesn't have movement. Now this is sort of a traditional kind of ending here for a lot of knives. But that hex kind of hole there just doesn't make sense to me. I'll have to do some more research on it. Oh, there you go. And this, I like this. I like this quite a lot. Finally, Bria knives, Finland. Now, all these knives I got from White Mountain Knives. Of course, you can save 10% at White Mountain Knives. I think I probably told you in the intro. Leather sheath. Yeah, it's not a high-grade leather, but it's not garbage leather. Big welting in here. Thick welting. But proper leather, belt loop. You can put a dangle feature on there if you want to. This is a smaller knife. And I've got the blue on here. This is sort of a denim micarta. Again, permanently affixed. Tube back here. Full tang knife. Sandvik 12C27, although I don't know if they're going to keep their steel still under the Sandvik name, but it's no longer Sandvik that really owns the company. It is Sandvik, but they've changed their, at the highest level, they've changed their name. Anyhow, blade's quite thick. It starts to taper almost immediately once the bevel starts. Stainless 12C27 is all that it says on the side other than the brand name. The badging's not terribly big. Very smooth though. They've polished, almost looks like they've put a finish, like a seal, on this micarta. Very smooth. Probably, I don't know, feels like it's too smooth. But yeah, you could use this as like a, small bird knife or small fish knife, or just, a small carry. Yeah, I like smaller knives. So we've got 3 knives, and we've got this Lansky D-Sharp. Yes, the D-Sharp. And we're going to test all this stuff. Black, and black and blue. So we got black and blue. And 3 sizes in that order. That's kind of nice. This one does have a sharpener's choil, but these other 2 don't really. This one doesn't really need it the way it's sort of ground. And this one, yeah, we'll see as it ages. Like these kind of knives, if you don't have a sharpener's choil, you can sharpen it a number of times, but what you want to do then later on is grind down this, because you'll have, the knife coming down, and it'll inherently force you to do a recurve in here when you're sharpening, unless you grind that back. But if you grind that back, then you stop having a guard as well. So I generally put my own sharpener's choils in knives like this. That's what we got for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you to my supporters. You guys are stunning. I don't know when you'll see the reviews on these. If you've watched this far, I appreciate you very much. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.